And play the music. Let's have a cinematic soundtrack. Yeah. New music. New music tonight. Okay, where are we? Why, yes, I am live. Let's finish setting up the trackers. Scratch my nose. Doom doo doo doom doo doo doom doom doom. Get that going. Let's get the trackers going. Whoa, look at us go. Look at us go. That is impressive. I'm staring off into space. Wow. I kind of like that. I mean, it'd be good for like positioning, wouldn't it? You could almost have like a little marionette, a little marionette, so I can be like, oh, now I'm sitting. Instead of having a pre-programmed position, I just move the marionette around, because isn't that what we are anyways? Is this some kind of marionette? Oh, this is gonna be funny while I continue to get things set up. Okay, let's see. Let's get the other tracker going. I might need to recalibrate. What do you think? Well, I need to recalibrate. That is the question. It says it's recommended to pull a full reset. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Let's see if we can make this less bulky this time too. I really need to figure out some kind of fanny pack for my chest. That would be the easiest way to do it, is just some kind of fanny pack for my chest. So I would like it to be a bit more comfortable and also not slide around. I have a backpack down here. Sort of. You know what I do have? I have pockets on this shirt. Will that work as long as I don't go crazy? Oh, well, why on earth didn't they think of this before? I am a not the smart. Let's do a full reset. Hey, did that work? Wait, do I have the right trackers in the right spot? That'd be funny if they're backwards. They are in fact backwards. Put this one here. Look at that slouch. Look at that slouch. And put this one up here. And now do a reset. Bam! There, that was impressive. My back feels so much better. It's just like whipped right around. Okay, now let's pop chat out so I can see all y'all. Pop in chat. And let's see. To reset where I'm looking. There. Now I'm not looking up so high. Oh, wait. No. Get rid of that. There. It's kind of the problem with having OBS's preview window like this big. See, I'm looking at the full screen without all the stuff overlaid. So without all the stuff overlaid, it's like, oh hey, big Unity window here. I glance over at the other monitor and OBS is like this big, with a little bitty avatar in the corner, and then Winamp in the other corner. New music, by the way. New music. We'll see how that works out. I think it'll work pretty good. Oh, this is so much more comfortable. I mean, it's not 100% accurate because the tracker's on one side over here. But that is way more comfortable than wearing a harness. I still think a fanny pack of sorts would be a fanny pack for my chest. All right, we're going to finish doing our housekeeping we usually do at the beginning. We have to go post that we're live. We are live. Go over to self promo. Live. Not lice, not lice. That is something else entirely. Bam! Chill dev stream tonight. Indeed. Indeed. You know, one of the things I've been thinking of is, since I have the mic boom up there for like the last half a year or so, I wonder if I should put my Leap controller up in the sky. For one thing, it wouldn't interfere when I'm... Well, no, it would still interfere when I'm talking with my hands. But I wonder if then it wouldn't shoot up into my my armpits all the time. It still might. Oops, did I have to fix this toggle. It's gonna be another housekeeping. I keep saying housekeeping. Gonna do little fixes as we see them, including this toggle. Yes, including this toggle. Maybe we can separate them into two separate things. So tonight's agenda, whether we choose to stick to it or not. Yeah, get this sorted. The use equipment. Yes, use equipment would be nice. And I figured that out, I think at the end of last stream or right after last stream. How we're gonna do that. I need a notepad. We're gonna bring in some more assets. Because I need something in this hand. It's funny because it's hiding my tracking. It's interfering with my tracking. I need something in this hand for when I am actually looking at my notebook. My voice is extra deep and a little scratchy tonight because allergies. Something late afternoon around here. Probably some kind of mold spore. Outside mold spore. We have a nice clean dry house. No mold in here. Fingers crossed. Okay, this is a little funny. I do notice an offset because I have the camera tracker is in my left shirt pocket, which is over here on the operator. I noticed that the rotation is just slightly off because of that positioning. Just a little offset. You know, I could probably change that in the slime settings. And I keep meaning to record a little video on how I'm setting up slime because I think that'd be an interesting use case to kind of show off. So I like this range of motion, just extra little bit, even if it doesn't always line up. You can see right here, there's a little shifting. So even if it doesn't always line up perfectly, I think this is a nice little use case for minimal tracking, but combining a number of different tracking. And it works with the, with my, with VCFace and not just in my environment here, which I do want to get set up and export it. And I'm impatient, so I don't know if I'm going to wait until I get the new project started. I might just make a fixed camera. You know, the whole purpose of this area, minus the giant green screen. I'm gonna fade that out. So minus the giant green screen. The point is that there's a fixed camera right here. There's a fixed camera right here where the gremlin is standing in. Welcome in, Dead Son. So what I think I might do is I might just, if I can't get a proper cutout, transparent background in out. I think I might just do a little windowed, traditional webcam review and just run an instance of my Unity project in the corner to replace the VC face guy. So I'm no longer gesturing to myself all the time. Yes. Well, yes, welcome in, Dead Son. Hello. Also on the to-do list is to import the fixed model that doesn't have this improper weight painting. We have one vertice that is attached to my thumb. Yeah. And that's been a bug for a year now. But he's fixed on the avatar in the lower corner. Okay. So a little bit of housekeeping tonight. Oops. I love this trail render. This feature. It's not a bug, it's a feature. And it's so amusing. So I put this up as a short, a little clip from the end of last stream, because I have them on my eyes, right? Currently I just have it toggling between my my drawing finger and my eyes. So I get the the evil villain monster kind of look, which looks really cool in the dark. Oh, I don't have the lights toggled in here, but it looks really cool in the dark. But yeah, so I put up a little short of this clip from the end of last stream when I was doing just this and having fun. 1,400 views. So it got promoted somehow by the algo. Oh, Dead Son. One of the things I'm going to do, it's on my to-do list. Well, one of the things is to bring in, if nothing else, a squashed cube to be a stand-in for my notepad, which is right here. Just so that when I pick it up, I have something to gesture at. But I do want to add in level of detail. I do want to add in level of detail toggles so that when I zoom in, like to the max, so right here, filling the entire screen. Ooh, that's a lot of me. That it shifts to a different level of detail with more realistic textures. So I have like the reflections in the lens and maybe some CRT separation on the side. Yes. But I have so many things in my to-do list right now. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. With all the things to do, it's like, where do I draw the line? And then just say, okay, package all that up together first. So it's, I need to talk to the planning committee and get everything, set with them. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things. Get rid of the green screen. Ooh, new soundtrack, by the way, too. So much to do. I bet. How's the tentacle stuff going? And and I don't know if you want to talk about it on here, but you switched away from using AWS for some of the backend? Was it a pricing? Because I know the instances can get... I don't know if you were using an instance or if you were using like a... It's 3. Oh, you went to Railway. Okay. I'm quite familiar with the AWS environment. It can be buckets of fun. Yeah, buckets. Authorization. We use all sorts of fun stuff at work for that. And yeah, and just keeping up with everything these days. All the different ways you can log in and secure things. It's literally a whole job just by itself. It is literally a whole job by itself. Okay. Target material green. Mode alpha. No, we could just probably change this to back. The buckets are leaky. Interesting. Oh, who was it that got into big trouble just a couple of years ago? Because it turned out that their buckets were set to public, and it was private data. Their buckets were set to public for their 3 buckets, and I think they had all their user data was in plain text, and they thought it was secured just because it wasn't linked anywhere. But if you have their bucket address, you can go right in because it's a public bucket. Yeah. There's of course ways to secure all that good stuff. Okay, so part 1. You know, let's not do it that way in case we want to make that a toggle. Let's just make it Oops, that was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. There. They wouldn't let you encrypt when your own encryption. Oh, you had to use the Amazon stuff? Interesting. No, I could definitely see wanting your own control and wanting being able to control it your own way, and possibly easier without subscribing to more stuff, whether it's through AWS or anyone really. Okay, we're having to bump up database sizes or tiers. That gets expensive real quick. And I don't know about railway, but then, it's like, oh, well, you want everything to be secure or quicker to be accessed. So then you have to have it mirrored on the other side of the country or world, depending on your user base. Yeah. Don't say it too loud, or if you say his name 3 times, he will show up. And then he'll cut all your free Prime. Okay, let's see. Got to get those Bezos bucks, Okay, step 1, that's done. Step 2, I was in the middle of the trail renderer. Really, I need to better consolidate. Yes, I need to better consolidate where I'm putting all my scripts. Because some of the scripts, like this one, stairs. Why is the stairs on my control script? Yeah, the local hosting is pretty cool too. I mean, especially because, I know the internet is a fast, speedy place, but also just local hosting. I really appreciate for everything. I'm playing MP3s in the corner here. Ooh. Are these MP3s? These might be waves. I didn't compress them yet. Yeah, I really appreciate the local hosting. Would you have to run like a web server, or does it have its own thing going? One of my favorite bits of code. Hide the body or don't hide the body. Hello, Nix. It'd be its own thing that runs locally. Oh, cool, cool. Man, when was the last time? See, I don't know how I got out of the web design business a long time ago because it was no longer profitable for what I wanted to do. I either would have had to be a WordPress copy paster or take on projects that required a team. And that's when I got out of web design, web and graphic design. Because it was either like people just wanted something cheap off of Fiverr, or that their cousin could do, or, well, no, it wouldn't be their cousin, it'd be their nephew. Legitimately, it'd be like their niece or nephew. Oh, thanks for these, I'm glad we had a talk and you drove out here to sit with me as I go through and describe everything. I'm going to let my high school, niece do this. It's like, cool. I'm glad I can recoup nothing except the mileage as a write-off. So yeah, we got out of that. But yeah, that's how long ago it was around that time when everything was becoming super easy drag and drop. I mean, I configured someone's Squarespace site as my last one of my last jobs as a freelancer. Not for me. I need something more to keep me interested and occupied. So the opposite end of that was, it's like, okay, well, we want a full-on shopping cart and full-on shopping cart and shopping experience and everything. It's just like, we're gonna go with an out-of-the-box solution, or I'm gonna need a team and add a 0 or 2 to this quote. Yes, Web 2.0. No, I was still doing this after Web 2.0. I did a lot of PHP. PHP. Gotta watch our alphabet here. Funny enough, originally stood for personal homepage. Yeah, and it was easy for that. Welcome in, Boom. Welcome in. We're scrolling up and down as I think about what I want to do next. There it is, right there. There's the markers. Oh, I was messing with the emitting last time. That's what it was. Because we can draw now. We can draw on the screen. It's good fun. I'm this close to working on the, going through the to-do list and working on the on-screen interface. So I can pop up a little menu and then just click on things. Maybe on screen, maybe off screen, or off of your screen. Just clicking on little things so I can, like pop up a color wheel and mess with this. Or, change the eye colors, add in integration so that maybe chat can do these things for me. Oops, did we lose twisting? Nope, we're still good. Okay, we haven't drifted too much. We're doing pretty good since I switched to two cell phones instead of using Joy-Cons for our 3D tracking. Reading things on more than one channel. That's a cool idea. I'm just thinking, it's like, I know some people have 2 channels because they'll have like an always running channel on one side and then just their streaming channel. So that could be cool for netting some of that stuff together. Welcome in, Vern. Welcome in. A lot of fun folks stopping by tonight. Oh, I turned off my drawing. We gotta fix this toggle anyways. I have to add in more teleport points too. And what is going on with that shadow? What is going on with this shadow? That is interesting. I should probably get rid of the giant turret anyways, because we don't have too many invaders here at the space station, the derelict space station. There we go. And now we have the hideous green screen is gone. RGB drawing. Yeah. Oh no. I have to fix its render order. because the post-processing is making it super blurry, unless there are polygons behind it. See, so now it's nice and in focus. But then we go over here, and because it's pseudo-transparent, it has a lot of transparency to it, it doesn't render properly with the post-processing and the depth of field specifically. It's like it pushes it to a different plane somewhere in the stack. Yes, RGB drawing, and I gotta fix this toggle, but it's really fun for now. We've got the anime eye glow thing going, including when we teleport. So you can see exactly how we're teleporting here, how far we're teleporting. I gotta bring our proper logo into this world too. We're just stuck with this text logo over here, the glowy text logo. This has been here. It's amazing that some of the stuff that I forget about. Some of the stuff that I forget about that's been here for months and months and months. This was, I want to say, last September. I did it as a little promo thing for my, I think when I hit affiliate. I think that was last September. Did a little animation where I just walk off the edge. But yes, the RGB. Oh, did we lose? We did lose the RGB. There we go. It's here, and now it's over here. We need more teleportation spots too. I keep adding more and more things to my, to be fair, this is my demo, my test area. This is my test area, so it's gonna have all sorts of stuff, and all sorts of stuff that I forget about. Like, I do not remember which button is for chairs. Which button spawns all the chairs? Well, okay, we got too many things going here. There we go. This is one I don't use enough. Oh, definitely. Boom, Dead Sun, you guys, all the cool devy stuff you come up with is very inspiring. It's neat to see how everyone does things differently. All the different approaches. For all of the streamers who are doing wacky things that are kind of somewhere between just like playgrounds and deving, whether you have a specific goal in mind or not. And yeah, we all just kind of inspire and feed off of each other to come up with new things, get little ideas here and there. And yeah, it's very neat. It's very inspiring. Very inspiring to see what everybody comes up with, what y'all working on. Cheese. Which one's the chair button? How could I forget instantiate chair? It's on here somewhere. I'm literally just have these hotkeyed to my keyboard, so I could be like, no, no, this one, no, nope, not that one, no. T, what does T do? Oh, it's R. And that's not good, because if we go to first person mode, R is for switching hands for a held object. So that would get problematic real quick. The chairs, yes. We can go down there and be smothered by chairs. It will happen, because they all have nice colliders going, and yeah, it'd be a whole thing. It'd be a whole thing down here. I gotta say though, the marker, where's my marker? This hand? This hand. Come on. There we go. This is gonna be one of my favorite new toys. I just have to figure out a better way to control it, like the scale and everything. And turns out in Unity, one of the cool things about the trail renderer, which is what this is using. So think the light cycles from Tron with a little cycles going. Basically, that's what the trail render is. It's the light behind them. And it just follows the object. So it's like a little ribbon. You can take the vertices that this creates. I have it pretty smooth, so there's a lot of vertices here. But you can take those and you can convert them to mesh. Yeah. So you can make a solid object, so I can freeze this and make it its own mesh. That's pretty cool. I know this is, I think it's this exact method here, using trail render to draw. I think that's used a lot in like VR chat, which if I recall is a Unity thing. Let's go check out the chairs. There we go. Yes. The chairs. The chairs have taken over the office. I think this would be a fun redeem just to pile on the chaos. Not necessarily chairs, but an object. So I'm trying to think about redeems, and I don't know if I want to go quite as intense as Boom does. I don't know if my computer could handle that. But some more interactivity is definitely on the way. Is definitely on the way. White band, yes. Safety rhinos. And whenever I show up in chat, the giant robot tries getting you. Okay. So we need to fix. We're gonna work on the equipment toggle. Equipment toggle, and all the chairs go away. Sorry, chairs. Sorry, chairs. I have to bring up VS, Visual Studio. I've spent a long day troubleshooting stuff today at work. Lots of Visual Basic. It's the auto shoutout. Yeah, the auto shoutout spawns 2. Okay. I think last stream I was trying to figure out why I couldn't play with the emitter for the marker. Right here, yes. So I defaulted just turning on and off the object itself, because that's the easy way to do it. The easy way to do turn on all the special effects and whatnot is to literally just, I don't know if you guys can see this anymore, literally just turn the game object on and off. Like that's how I do the anime, or the particle effects for when I turn into little flying Rusty and stuff. It starts when it's enabled or set active. And for some reason, trail render is not playing by the rules of emitting. And I was briefly typing on it, and I think there is another way. Let's go find it. Let's go find it. Because there's a ton of stuff you can do with it. Okay, so we've got marker. Which marker is this? Okay, that's the marker in my hand. And here's what it looks like. So here's the way we get the lovely gradient. I want to be able to change things like this. So copy the property path. We head back over here. What do we get? And parameters color gradient. Oh, come on. Play nice. Marker. I think we need to get the component of it. The help docs were not super helpful with that. So I think I need to use one of these like try-get components to unlock all of these things over here on the other side of the screen. Like emitting is M underscore emitting, which usually means it's locked away under something. For instance, the camera stuff. Like right here. So I have a virtual camera. This is how I adjust things like depth of field and field of view. Two different things. In fact, this right here is... Oh, this is what switches between first person and third person, so it's not the best example. But, oh, here we go. So, virtual camera, where are you? Okay, so here, getting the camera. Okay, that makes sense. The virtual camera, get cinemachine component, and then an aspect of it. Oof. And then everything is unlocked after that. So I have to unlock a portion. I would imagine this is the same thing for the emitter, if I want to dive in so deep on one thing. Oh boy. Okay, what line are we at? Marker, here we go. So I have it as a game object. Well, let's make it a let's make it not a game object. Let's make it a trail renderer. Let's see what we need to make for a trail renderer component. See, nothing's coming up. Nothing's being suggested. Here, Cinemachine, third person follow. I wonder if that'll be enough. I wonder if that'll be enough. I keep telling myself that I'm not going to do, you know, thinking programming. Thinking programming this late at night. Is marker. Oh, you're fine. All right, marker. What do we got? Do we have emit? We have emitting. Do we have M? We do not. Okay, so it is definitely stuck behind something. We have materials. Okay, here's materials. Motion vectors, baked mesh, get materials. Ray tracing. Ray tracing, interesting. Oh yes, add position. You can do all sorts of fun things when you capture the vertices. Yeah, and that's before you convert it to a mesh too. Like you can do whole like particle effect systems built onto the trail render. And because I was just searching around for some of how to do this, and it was so interesting seeing this. It's like, well, why would you use the trail render instead of the more robust particle system? So there must be a reason for it. Or when you build one on top of the other, there must be some kind of reason for it. And I just don't know enough. There's emitting. And color and width. See, I think I need to use one of these get components on it. You can set the level of detail. And then here's all the generic stuff. Wow, yeah, this might be, this might be something I have to shelve and look up later. Unity trail render, and let's do m underscore embedding just for kicks. Okay, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't mess with this right now. This looks like something I want to dive into later and add more things to. But it would be nice to just be able to like change the color and swap between them. I don't know how to capture that. How do I capture that programmatically? Wow. Apparently that is how I capture that programmatically. Key 5. This is what a gradient looks like. Look at that. I just copy and pasted the whole gradient. It's with a gradient wrapper, apparently. Well, that seems pretty intense. Okay. So something I could do here is, I'm sure I could set this, let's see, color. Marker, color gradient. Oops, not that one. This one. No, it won't be this easy. Oh, I thought I could get away with it being this easy. Okay, we are going to undo all that because that's a little silly at this moment. Huh. Interestingly enough, my work laptop just decided to turn itself on. Kids these days. Okay, so we're going to shelve that for now. We're going to turn it back into a simple game object. But we're definitely going to remember that we can do cool things with it, assuming we look it up someday. Okay, so we got the marker is marker, blah, 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 blah. And we should really make these two separate toggles. Oh, excuse me. In fact, we're going to do this as a three-way toggle. So we can save space on the keyboard, because right now, yeah. Private bool. Width marker equals, oops. Which marker? 0. So we set it to 0. Void start is marker. Which marker? 0. This way we just toggle through the markers. Eventually, someday, there we go. Just trying to get the finger pointer. We will have these keybinds on a lovely menu instead of hard-coded here. Because I can't remember everything. That's why it took me so long to remember which one is the chair button. R is for chair, apparently. That's not some good mnemonics. That is poor. At least H was for hat, and F is for flashlight. Those at least kind of made sense. Kind of made sense. Okay, so marker is marker. We can get rid of is marker. That is now useless. Okay. If which marker is equal to 0, we'll do that one. Marker set active, or opposite of active anyways. Okay, first we're going to do the housekeeping. The housekeeping, just set these to false. So we have a clean slate. We're not using this right now. Try to turn a marker and go else if move these guys here. And so it's 0, that's that. If it's 1, it's that. Actually, let's do 1 and 2 and then 3, or just else. Marker, no, which marker? Is it 0 again? There. Okay, let's see. So it starts off at 0, which is nothing. Make these true, otherwise they're gonna toggle funny. There. Now I can add other types of trail renders and just cycle through them. And that's good enough for now. H, H is for marker. Okay, that's 2 things taken care of. Now we're going to go to item container. And we need more keybinds. So we're going to do another one of these. Activate key. Key code activate key, and on update, yeah, let's just do that. So this will be for activating an item that's held. This is separate from the marker script. Oops, did I mess something up here? I did. Okay, so we don't want the key, we want activate key. So this way I can have 2 separate keys. One for switching, or one for toggling through the items in that equipment slot, and then the other key to activate the selected item. So this does select item, and this one we're going to keep it clean and similar. Simple and clean. here we're going to do something different. Just making a note here. We're not going to be setting it. Oh, we have to get the object. Well, that's interesting. Selected item. Because how do we get the current item? Okay. There are a few different ways I could do this. I could store the current selected item, which might be the best, or I could store the index of the current selected item. Because right here, it's going through each item. It's cycling through them. So memory-wise, it'd probably be better if I would store this, if I would grab the, or excuse me, if I would, when this is set active, the selected item, yes, the selected item's index would be stored, so that'd be a reference to it. That'd be probably most memory efficient, but I'm not dealing with super complex things. So what I could do is I could make a game object, or another reference to a game object, and then just have that be local. Be a little bit heavier, but like I said, we're not dealing with super complex objects. So I think I'll do that for now. And I will do that for now, and I'll make a note to possibly change it. In fact, we should do that here. Do I need to set it to null? Yeah, I should probably do that right off the bat. Okay, so here we go. Selected item, and selected equals item dot game object. So here I can then go selected and do stuff to it. There, like activate, do a thing. Okay, but first, before we can do a thing, we need to set it up to do a thing. So to set it up to do a thing, let's save this while we're at it. Because in fact, I should also set this, when we go to that item, it is off. That's another thing. Okay, so we need an on-off switch for an item. So what does our item look like? Compile. Oh, we did a couple of things. That's why I had to do some updating. Okay, where's our hat? Spine, clavicle, neck. Our head point. So our activate key, so we set that here. So it's The key is tied to the spot, the equipment spot. Okay, now how do we do a shift? Exclamation's called exclaim. That's new. Do I seriously have to scroll through all of these? I do. I don't want to do that. What are these called again? What are these called again? Unity key code. Yeah. In Unity, shift key is using left shift and right shift. Oh, really? You gotta use a pipe? You gotta use the double pipes. Use shift key down. You can do the shift key. No, that's either shift. Oh. So shift key input script Unity. There we go. Oh man, that is more interesting or more problematic than I thought it would be. See, I want to know if the shift allowing key codes to shift with a variable. Yeah. Just looking at some things off screen over here. No. Oh, maybe that's not, maybe this isn't as easy as I thought. So maybe this is more of a thing for the new input system instead of hard coding things. Implement, peek? Can I peek? Oh my goodness. I think I might have to have something like if get key down the key and okay, let's try this. I don't think this is how they intended it, but no, this should be under the else. This should be under the else. I don't think this is how it intended. I will explain it after I do it. So we got this. No, go away. That's part of that. Okay, this seems like I'm doubling up, but I don't think I am. Get over here. Okay, so what this is doing, if it works, I don't want to dig through too much stuff to do just this little thing. I like experimenting first, having it crash and burn, and then looking up the important thing. So my activate key is going to be shift. Left shift. I could have it be something else like tab. That might be... well, that might be easier on my fingers. Yes, that'll be easier on my fingers. Plus shift is used for running. So let's have it be tab. Activate item, let's just say it does, what should it do? Let's have it do a console right line. There, I should use the console more often. I really should. Okay, is the console going to be in Unity? Console's going to be in Unity. So first we'll put that here. Clear out the garbage. This is going to be shift, specifically left shift. Oh boy, left. Correction, we are going to... oh, really? Left apple. I should look for the left apple key on my Windows computer here. Oh, no, I was going to do tab. I was going to do tab. That's right. Tab. Okay, let's see if this works. GPU resident drawers having problems. Yeah. Render's not supporting forward plus. I know. I thought I disabled forward plus. So that's also confusing. One thing, this should toggle through eyes, marker. No, maybe not. Okay. What the heck is going on? Oh, it looks like I need to do some things here, because that's a lot of stuff. We have a lot of warnings here on every single frame. We should look into that. Okay, so there we go. Go through silly hats. And nope, it's still going through. Okay, so that didn't work as intended. That didn't work as intended. But also, what on earth is going on with that? GPU resident drawer disabled. Yeah, I thought I disabled it already. We should probably take a peek at that. Okay, we're not using forward plus. GPU resident drawer disabled due to some configured universal renders not supporting forward plus. Okay, we're not using forward plus, we're using forward. So that's interesting. Hmm. This will probably be a problem that goes away when we switch. When we switch. You know what? We're gonna make this a key up. A key up. Returns true during the frame the user starts pressing down. Starts pressing down. Returns true while the user holds down the key. Ta-da! Okay. Should I make this a down or an up? Hold on. No, down is fine. Down is fine. But now it should work properly, theoretically. Oh, I gotta sneeze. There, no free sneezes. That costs bits. That costs bits. Oops. Might help if we had the console up. You go away. Okay, well, it is locking. It is locking it. But we're not getting our talkie. That's on, that's off. That's there, that's on. Okay. Why are we not getting our console red line? And this is all like basic stuff too. So that's kind of the sad part of it. The key. So I'm holding that. I wonder if it's just being overruled by all the crap running through here. It probably is. This might be something I shelve later for when I have more brain power. Okay, if I'm holding tab and I press the key, then it should activate the item. Fast. There. Oh, that's another thing I was going to do. Add more teleport points. Add more teleport points. Okay, selected item 1. Ah. It flickers so fast because it's as it's being held. Oh, so you have to hit it just right. Okay, that makes sense. Does it though? Does it though? So the good news is we can just fire off an event. Oh, come on. Hey. Get key down. Stop being helpful. Thank you. The joys of trying to do things the hard way. I mean, there's gotta be an easier way to use the modifiers. To use modifiers than this. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Did a square. Did a square that time. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, that did it. There. Now I'm holding the tab key. So now I'm pressing. Let's change this up. Now I'm pressing the 2 key, which is for the head equipments. So we're going through that. So I'm holding tab, which goes into activate, deactivate mode, and that works. Nice. Nice. That is doing exactly as intended. Okay, cool. So we got that working. So now we need objects that can actually do things. Okay. So this activate item, and remember this is a generic script. Let's get rid of that. This is a generic script that's going to go on any item container, which is what I'm calling an equipment slot. So now we need to go to activate item. Activate item. An activate item would do something to objects selected, which we set right here. But to do this, we need something on the item to be activated. So for that, we need another script. I don't think we started one for that. We have item container. Maybe I'll call this one like item object or item self. Item interact. Ooh. There we go. Create script. What? There, scripting. Let's do mono behavior. Item. Interact. Item container, item interact. There, and this way we can do other cool things with it too. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay, so we've got blah, 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 blah. Now we can go. don't think we need anything at start. We'll need a... Obviously need void. No, this... I'm gonna save this script. This will be for objects laying around in the environment. Yes, we need item equipment is what we're going to call this. Come on, you don't need to compile that. That was fine. What's this track? Sounds fun. Sounds of the 80s. Okay, we're on the Sounds of the 80s part of the sound pack. This was a part of a pack. What was it called? Like Ultimate Music Collection or Total Music Collection, something like that. Let me find out. See if it's in the file. The file info. Oh no, they're WAV files. Okay, hold on. They're WAV files, so they don't have their info on them. I need to look this up though. This one's really fun. This is the Total Music Collection. I think it was part of a Humble Bundle, like game design or Unity, maybe Unity specific bundle. So there are a whole bunch of things in here, including like special effects. I think it had like Magica Cloth and Spring Bones and some other fun stuff that I need to use. And it had this Total Music Collection. So let's go to music. Not that one. Streams. Total Music Collection. And let's just pick any one of them. Do they have... I mean, there's hundreds of hours of stuff in here. Oh, no. Well, I guess I won't be finding exactly what it is, because I mean, Total Music Collection, that's not a very brandable name, unfortunately. Usually I'm using backing track. Backing track or Stream Beats are the other royalty-free, you know, DMCA-free streaming music. Okay, so start. We don't really need to start. No, should we start the item in the off position? Maybe we'll leave that on there. Maybe we'll leave that on there. Update is called each frame. What if we do a fixed update? I forget how that works. Fixed frame rate if the mono behavior is enabled. We'll stick with update for now. Okay, let's see, if it's been equipped, this might require more thought too. Darn. I just want it to be, if it's enabled, I want to be able to have it do a thing or not do a thing. So toggle that thing on and off. I guess that's rather vague. So almost every item would have to have its own special thing. Like for a weapon, it would have to do weapon stuff, where you'd have to enable like reloading, all that. Maybe I should. Maybe I should look. I did bring up another Unity project here. Where are we going? Let's test this one out. So this is the Locomotion, the Cinti Studios Locomotion Pack. Let's hit play on that. Apparently we do not have a follow camera. That's interesting. Why do we not have a follow camera? Oh no, I must have been messing with something in here and it does not work now. Main camera, main camera. That work? Yeah, this is very dependent on it working too, so that is unfortunate. Oopsie. Okay, there. Now will it work? Oh, weird. Is this a third person camera? And I was thinking about it wrong the whole time? I thought this was a first person camera. Let's go back to this one. Yeah, I must have messed with it somehow. Whoopsie. Well, that's no good. That's no good at all. What good's a demo if you mess it up? I'm gonna have to reload this project here. I must have been experimenting with it. And it got all borked. I like the way the animations work. But yeah, so this is supposed to be a demo for the Locomotion Pack. You see that this little guy is moving around quite fluidly. You can crouch. Whoa, must exit play mode to save the scene. Okay, that's good to know. See, crouching smoothly goes up. See, these are things I wanted to learn from. How to blend these things. Now this guy walks a little bit differently than I wanted to, so that's probably what I was. Oops, and we lost him. That's probably what I was messing with, and I borked up the controls. There we go, moonwalk. Okay. Oh, okay. So one of the things I didn't like is that he follows the cursor around when he's walking around. But no, he moves so nicely with little pivots. Moving fast, backpedaling, crouching. It was very fluid, so I was looking on how to maybe incorporate some of that my own, but there is a lot going on here. There we go. I mean, look at, here's the sample player animation controller script. But here's some very neat things. Enable head turn. Here's the curve. So you can put curves on everything, so it's not just like, snapping into position. Transitions into that. That's brilliant. But yeah, this script is huge. So this is their own player animation controller. This isn't the default input one. Actually, it's not that bad. It's only 1,000 lines of code. Okay, so they have the different states. This is a nice system. Yeah, it's only 1,000 lines of code, or yeah, 1,500. I mean, there's a lot more going on to it that's, you know, tied into Unity. Like, what do we got up here? See, it's using their own input system, so they have this somewhere else, so they're importing that. Yeah, there we go. So it's hooking into the animator. Okay, so they're not doing all this in the graphical interface for the animator. They're doing this mostly with code. And so they can control it over here. Script and objects. Okay, so that looks nice over here. Oh, these are all just grabbing the settings. Look at that. That's where most of the code is. Settings, 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 settings. Yeah, like this right here where it says region, lean settings. That is literally just right here. See? Flag indicating if leaning is enabled. So it's setting up this interface here. A little tooltip and it tooltips. Nice. Runtime properties. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're seeing what you are, what you're doing, moving directions. Nice. Nice. This looks a lot cleaner than the default one. Like, that's the one I'm using. I mean, the one I'm using is like 2016, 15 or so. And they built this, it looks like, from the ground up for themselves. And then they have different actions, like you can lock on a target because it's supposed to be, I think this is a third-person shooter kind of thing. If I didn't fork up the camera, you'd be able to see them. You can lock onto these targets so that you will be kind of strafing around while locked on. It's pretty good, pretty cool. You're like aim and lock on. If you're aiming, activate aim. Turn the aiming on. Make sure strafing is the opposite of sprinting. Okay. Deactivate aim. Turn that stuff off. Oh wow, yeah, that's a lot to dig into. Capsule crouching size, true. Deactivate sprint. Yeah, that's a lot to look into. Wow. The coder in me just wants to dig into all that. Welcome in, Shrill. Welcome in, Shrill Duck. Need to add an auto shout out. You have to have this if you're following, they can shout themselves out. If you're following, they can shout themselves out. Well, I mean, the auto shout out, like I know how Boom has it, is that when the first time you say something, you know, you send a message. I don't think it's if you redeem something. I think you have to actually type in chat, and then it does the auto shout out. I don't think I have things like that enabled. I'm using two different bots. I'm using in my chat, my Twitch chat here. I'm using, what am I using? Stream Elements bot and Sari bot. Yeah, Stream Elements and Sari. Sari for moderation and Stream Elements to do stuff like, did you know I have a YouTube channel? Ta-da! It's super easy to set up. Oh yes, very important for the auto shout out to have a whitelist. Otherwise, everybody who speaks, the first time they speak at least, will have their own little shout out, which could be interesting. could be interesting. But moderation tools exist for moderation. Oh, you have it tied in. You have it tied into, yeah. Infinite shoutouts, yes. Shouts out people who streamed League 7 years. Oh, because Twitch keeps track. Twitch keeps track of the last thing they were last. Ooh, that's like insult to injury that they were last seen playing League. I've been clean for like 11 years. Yep. I've been clean for like 11 years or so. Though Arcane, when Arcane came out, I was so tempted to load League up and get back into it, but then I remembered A, it won't be as cool as the animated show on Netflix, and B, I do not. One of the reasons I left is because I did not have the time to keep up with the meta. Because every time the patch notes came out on Tuesday, it's like, oh, will this completely mess up how I play my, like 3 characters that I alternate between? Oof. Oh, it is, Nyx. It is based on which category you have. Oh, yes, I knew that. I've done that in preparation for like getting ready for the next stream, so I don't have to do it 2 minutes before I hit go live. Yes, so it does just go off of what you were your last stream info. You can hide your shame. So if a game is old but it's still being updated, it's not considered retro, is it? What is the I want to say the statute of limitations on a retro game? Like, is it not a statute of limitations? What is the definition? There we go. What is the definition of a retro game? What is the like generally accepted years? Is it 20 years? Is it like 3 consoles ago? What would be, because PS2 is retro now, a retro game, and because that first came out in what, 2000, 2001, even though it was supported and still being shipped until I want to say 2012, something like that. Oh my gosh. Public is public pool is active. Let's do that. Void start. We'll set is active to not true, also known as false. Retro is anything Nintendo is doing. No. They just that's called reanimation or resurrection. Necromancy. Yes. And they play with your heartstrings and they just keep dragging the old brain ain't working franchises. There you go. Dragging the old franchises forward. I mean, they know what they're doing. They have their 4, maybe 5 franchises. And I don't know. They've been doing a pretty good job, in my opinion, of keeping them alive, reinvigorating them. It's not just like, oh, we need another Mario game. Let's just go steal some Mario Maker levels, Yeah. Do we even need an update? Yes, we do need an update. We don't need to update. We can just do a thing. Would that be a public? Here's the thing. Where is it? Okay, we need the bool to be as active. I guess we need something we can control this. No, we need a thing that says, we don't want to just set object. We don't want to just set it active. We need it to do something. So when it's interacted with, we need when it's activated. Yeah, this will clean up a lot of my hotkey stuff, really. Okay, so need to public pool. We need to be able to do something with that. So we do need the up. We need to do a thing. So private active. Whoa, activation. I like my do a thing. There. So private do a thing. Sometimes I forget that I'm in C# and not Visual Basic. Okay, so I'm gonna have it do a thing, but we have to be able to do a thing. Hold on, let me pull up a thing here. Looking at some text, I actually looked this up. Try to get component interactable. Oh, that's more confusing than I had wanted it to be. Okay, so public class item equipment. No, we got that. Okay. Using Unity engine, we got that. Good. Toggle door. Private void. Public. Ah. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense, obviously. Okay. I'm gonna have to put something and do a thing because that's obviously not gonna work. So we're gonna have public bool is active. Is active. Can I do that just by itself? No, I cannot do that just by itself. There. There. Okay. So I'm not doing it the same way that this tutorial is, because that's about how to talk to NPCs and interact with them. So that's a completely different set of things that I will be later implementing when I want to go like grab objects and stuff. So I will be stealing this code, which I'm going to have an item interact. But do a thing is probably going to be different for every object, to be fair. Because some things I'm going to want them to change texture, turn their own objects on. But I guess if they all have do a thing, then I just need to change the script on every object that's different. But this will handle like material swaps, color swaps. Saving me from hard coding more stuff. Okay, so item container, activate object. Okay, so we need, when it's activated, go to object selected. Try get component. got to get the component, which would be a item equipment. Edit equipment. Let's just call it equip. Okay, and we do the thing. Obviously, probably need a object selected target component. Get the script. Or do I even need to do that? That's me talking out loud here. Do the thing. Yep. Well, let's try it. Let's try it this way. What do we have it called? Do the thing. Oh, it is that easy. Well, Snapples. Okay, cool. It is that easy. Activate item. So because I grabbed the script. This is my script right there. It did work that easy. So let's explain this and then go do it. Man, basic stuff. I really should have just taken a course on Unity, I suppose. But this is kind of just how I like to do things anyways. Okay, let's see. Yeah, don't tell my boss. Okay, so if I'm holding down the tab key and press the key, in this case 2, we'll then activate item, which goes down here to activate item. It grabs the selected, as in currently equipped item. So because this is on the head, or because the one we're testing this on is on the head slot. If there is an item active, ooh, what if there's not? Well, that's what the try is for, I guess. It tries to grab the item equipment script and makes it its own thing. So it takes its own thing, the item equipment script, and accesses the do a thing function. Void. Why do they call them voids? Well, I mean, they call them voids because you're not returning anything, but a function's just a function. And then it goes to item equipment to do a thing. In this case, it'll just change the Boolean. I mean, spaghetti definitely has its advantages too. Node-based programming definitely has its advantages. In this case, activate item, I would probably just, plop on selected item, however that node would be looked or would be, and be able to find the script right off of it, because the IDE, the programming, or the development environment would know that when you have this, what is available to be used. So here, what I have to do in this code-based programming, so object selected, boom, sorry, boom. So here I use try get component, but these are everything. This list is everything I can do to object selected. It's like I can make it active. I can see if it's active. I can play with it's a game object, so I can get its transforms, its name, where it is, all that kind of stuff, right? Whereas node-based, you select which node you're trying to pull from. And yeah, I guess this you would need some kind of, I don't know how that works in Unreal. It's going to be an adventure when I eventually tap into that. Compile. It's getting slower to compile, so means I have a lot of crap in here. Okay, let us find our... First, we should probably put that script on some things. item equipment, and let's go to the item equipment. There. So I think to further... Yes. Okay, to further extend the item equipment, let's see if it works first. And then I will continue that thought. Okay, so we have headgear. Let's do the Pat Labor one. There. Now the Pat Labor headset is activated. So if we... Aha, active, inactive, active, inactive. It works. Oh, that's weird. There, clapping. So now the question is, what do I want to do? What do I want to do with? Yeah, what do I want to do with the items that aren't obvious? You know, so I have to think of things to do with the object now that it can be activated or disactivated, deactivated. It is almost 10 p.m. And this was a long day of debugging at the job. Wow. And in a different language. Yeah. Oh, you caught me next. Yeah. It was a long day of. Come on, stretch. There we go. Okay. It was a long day of debugging all morning. Had a couple of interesting issues. Whoa. What's our camera doing? Lock that. Get that over here. Ooh, interesting problems, and it wasn't always the user fault. So that's always fun. Okay. We can also try. So we got. No. Oh, we have to click into this. Click into it for one thing. Okay. No. H, no. Uh-oh. We broke it. I gotta rebug the code. Why is our... Well. How's that go? 99 bugs in the code. Solve one bug. Solve one bug. Patch it, you're done. 105 bugs of code in the program. I don't know. Something to that effect. You patch one thing, you break 1,000 other things. So we have a do a thing. We can play with it. Cool. So, where I was going with this was extending this. Keeping at least the script for generic items to be more universal. So the do a thing, what I could do is I could have like spots here for like material 1, material 2, and then it would toggle between the two materials, or save the original material and put in a new one. Same thing with colors. I think that'd be the easiest one, is to go between two colors. Yeah, that would work. So I could have one where it toggles between two colors, and that would be the, kind of a generic thing. If there are no colors in those slots, like if null, then try the next thing. Ooh, I would love to see a competition between two people where they are both editing the same code, which is missing a lot of data, and they are both trying to make the code do something completely different. They can't delete or edit the other person's code, but they can code something in to try and stop the opponent. Either one coder wins or the script just breaks entirely. It'll break 100% of the time. Not necessarily. Like, the code you submit has to work, I would say. So it wouldn't be like, so like, think of like a Google Doc. We'll just use Google. I know Microsoft has shared editing and whatnot too, but so you take a Google Doc, you can have anybody who has editing permission can be in there editing it at the same time, right? So building on that, Nix, what if when you're editing the code, you have to have code that works. So in other words, you have to have at least functions. So you can't submit like this line, just that line in do a thing. You would have to submit all of do a thing. Oops, I'm blocking my example. So you would have to have, like a whole function or sub or whatever you want to call it. And then, wait, can you delete? They can't delete or edit the other person's code. See, that would work then. It would take over and the code would break. Oh, it would absolutely break. Because not everything, you'd have to have some kind of like really fast, like active compiler or a non-compiling language, which one of my friends was talking about. What was it called? Where it doesn't actually get compiled. Go. I didn't look into it yet, so I am taking this as my friend's word, but he said it's a programming language. It doesn't get compiled, and it's great for iterations. So for fast iterating, you do a thing, you deploy it. I guess that's what it's more for. It's more for like, at least what he was using it for, was for deploying updates across infrastructure, across networks. It's like, wow, it's interesting. Because you're trading off the speed at which it runs because it's not compiled with the fact that you don't need to compile all these different iterations. It's just like, okay. So it's an interesting use case, but that would work with something like that idea, I think. Or you just have, a whole bunch of scripts that have to run, and then you're like as you submit them, you're compiling each little script, which wouldn't work in Unity because it has to, anytime you make a save. And if this was an even more complicated project, that would take even longer. But no, I like this item equipment thing here. I like that. I'm going to extend it a little bit just so I remember. I don't need this to be a public bool. It's just for testing. Let's make some serialized fields. Oops, come on, get out of there. Field color. Let's call it color 1. I guess we could set it to a color right away. No, we don't want to set it to a color right away. And let's make another serialized field. Color 2. Hey, get that out of there. We're using lowercase notation here. So for instance, I think doing it this way would be that. So I would go like, say, if is active and do a thing would be setting it to, I'm toggling it right here. This is just on load, on the very first load. And whenever do a thing is called from elsewhere, from the container object, the equipment slot, then yeah, if is active, then whatever object is color one. So color one has to be assigned to something. And then, of course, the opposite would be. Oh no! Wait. I did forget to check right here. Shame. So if is active, do all the things that would be toggled on. So if, and it could be a bunch of things. Ooh, this is gonna get messy real quick. This is where having a separate script for it catered to the item. Yeah, this is gonna be a generic script. This is where having a separate script catered to the item would be advantageous. Other one is not. No. Then do the thing. If it's null, just keep going. Okay, and then here you would have the opposite. And it knows what it's doing. It's too smart. There. And this would just be swapping between, basically a palette swap. There we go. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Some fun, just, just think about how I would do, how I am architecturing this. So I think, so this is kind of my workflow for this whole experimental project, which is this Unity project on the space station with all the stuff around it. Is what am I doing? What do I want to do? Oh, what do I want to do and how am I going to do it? Oh, I was going to name it Very Unfortunate. Very unfortunate that it would not be PC. We have to get the material. Okay. There we go. Okay. Well, anyways, so where I was going with that was, yes. So how I've been working this whole game dev VTuber environment thing is I think of something that I want to do. Now I write it down, which is helpful, super helpful. And then it's like, okay, well, how will I go about this? And for me, it's kind of a game. It's kind of a game of not necessarily looking it up right away. So this is my video games. my puzzle solving. It's like, okay, how far can I get with just my current knowledge? And then what do I need to look up? Yeah, we're gonna snooze this ad. And what do I need to look up? Because there's a lot in here that I need to look up. But having that framework of the phrasing, which search terms do I need to look up? So for this, it was, how do I interact with an object in Unity? You make it interactable. Okay, but how do I want to do this? I want to have an equipment slot, which is what I keep calling it, container equipment slot. Yeah, reloading. So it contains objects. I want to make it very modular, so I can just keep dropping it around to different areas without having to make a hand equipment, head equipment, right hand, left hand, foot, whatever. Now there will be special cases, of course, like weapons. They're going to be a little bit trickier. Yeah, they're going to be a little bit trickier. They're going to have their own category because they'll be able to do multiple things. But this, right here, I can have a whole bunch of equipment slots. There's the number keys, is what I pretty much have it set to. It can be whatever it wants, though. It's the key. And just anytime I put a new one down, I can get a different number, assign it a different number. Activate key, I can also do that. I got lazy. It's the tab key for now. So if I'm holding that, I can activate whatever the current item attached to the key is. So tonight we wrote that, and we wrote that we can now call a function called do a thing, so it does a thing when it's activated. Do a thing also reverses the do a thing. Anti-do a thing. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. So here, let's go with the scope dog. We need two materials. I wanted them to be colors, but so we're gonna feed the material two different colors. Scope dog helmet. Let's make it visible so we can see it. So as a for instance, oh, so here's where do a thing needs to be more universal. What I want to do here. Okay. See, we can leave that just as that. I wonder if I can do this tonight. Serialized field. Don't do the whole thing. Transform. The transform? It should be able to get the object it's attached to. Well, let's just do a transform. Okay, transform object. Let's just call it object for now. Let's call it object rotate. Okay, so this is a thing I want to do. Is active if it's that. If I could spell. Rotate. Rotate. This is also an interesting case where I can cheat. Oh, that is neat. I can cheat on this. Object rotate dot transform dot rotation rotate. Ew, vectors. Rotation of the transform, relative transform, relative rotation of the parent. Man, how do we rotate an item without getting gross? Vector, 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 vector. Oh. There we go. Vector 3 axis. Let's make a new vector. Vector 3. Can we do object rotate? What is up? Can we do up? Transform grade vector 3 up. Ha! Okay. And then let's do 120 degrees. Does that have to be a float? It does have to be a float. Is that valid code? Crap, that is not valid code. It's deprecated, that's why. Use transform rotate instead. Okay. There. Okay, this should work. It might not work, but it should work. And the funny thing is, we can take that and we can also put it here. So now it's not a toggle. Now it's not a toggle. It'll be just a thing that happens every time we hit the button. Okay, so we gotta transform rotate, transform rotate. Is this lens group? Oh no, the pivot's in the wrong spot. Oh well. We'll worry about that later. Lens mount? Is that the one? Oh, the pivot is in the wrong spot. Why is it on the wrong spot? Because this might work. A little bit of reorganizing. Children prefab cannot be prefab. Oh. I don't really want to unpack the prefab right now. So for now, it'll be a little borked. It'll be a little borked. Oh. Lens group, lens mount. Okay. It'll be a little goofy, but that's okay. This is an experiment. So, scope dog, lens mount, go here. Save, because I don't think we've done that in a hot minute. What is this track? Trap number 3. I like it. Okay, so theoretically, interesting that it kept. It kept track of which one was last equipped. We might have a bug in that code. That's okay. Ah, no. It is the wrong access, but. Let's see, Z. So, we're activating it, we are rotating. Oh, that's not any kind of... the orientation is definitely messed up on this thing. But essentially, I'm rotating it because that's what that script says. What I wanted to do is grab the whole lens group and rotate it, but that won't work quite as planned. I have to mess with my prefab. I don't know if I want to do that right now. Fingers crossed. Okay, so now I believe we can do this. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to make it do. However, I think up is not. We've got a Y up. That's why it's. I think that's why it's being goofy. Or it's going to world. Or it's going to world. I can fix my code later. Yeah, it's starting on. It's not supposed to start on. Interesting. Oh no, it is. It is supposed to start on because I enabled it so we could mess with it. Okay. It is okay. It should be turning them all off. on load though. So that works, and now it takes the whole group and messes with it. So we just need to adjust the orientation. But that is neat. Wait, hey, it gets it right every few times. See? Uh-oh. I don't know what axis we're spinning on, but it gets it right every now and then. Essentially, these three lenses are supposed to rotate so that one of them is in use. But yes. So it doesn't quite do what I'm intending. But it is exciting. It is kind of exciting. But yeah, having the ability to also swap colors with the same generic script is nice. You just need to have something in here. If there's nothing in here, it ignores it. Just like if there's no object here, there will be no object to be rotated. Nice, exciting. Where is... For instance, I could have it go through and recolor these with material. So I put a material on, change the base color, or just swap between two materials, which would be significantly easier. Just say this material is now this material. Just do a little swap like that. That is what, in effect, is happening here with my tie. This connection's broken right now. I don't have my toggle that switches between my blue eyes and my orange eyes, and then orange tie to blue tie. Yes, another thing we must fix. All right, that I'm calling it for the night. Thank you all for stopping by and listening to me ramble on while I code. It's been fun talking through these little these little things. So it seems like I didn't get much done, but it was some fun puzzle solving. Like it says, chilled. I'm looking at the stream over here. It says chill dev stream tonight. Yeah, not terrible. Okay. So, on that note of not terrible, let's go find somebody to raid if somebody is raidable. Yeah, I'm liking the new soundtrack. Total Music. I'll have to find out who they actually who they are and how I can link to them, because otherwise otherwise I need to just add the tags to the MP3 files when I convert them, I suppose. Okay, this one's getting a little repetitive, but not finding any other folks that I would be raiding, I don't think. You know what? I think we might just call it then, because I'm gonna have to raid and run anyways. Just looking at the time. Thank you all for stopping by. Like I said, this was fun. Just doing some deep coding and adding some more functionality to this. This will make it significantly easier for me to build out more of the very basic things. For instance, now I could just use the flashlight as an equipable item, or the marker. I've just equipped to my hand spot and then toggle it on and off. Then I don't need 100 different hotkeys here, because I don't have 100. Yes, we do have 100 keys on the keyboard. Yes, we do. So we could have 100 keys on the keyboard, but I would just look, see what item I'm currently using, and press the tab key for that item spot anyways. So if I'm holding a spray can, there we go. Yeah, that'll make things a lot easier. Just need to extend out the code that's over here, or the script that's over here. Extend it out a little bit further, but the basics of it are all there. Turn the item on and off. Make it do a thing. Do a thing could literally be just, like this. Emitting, and then clearing the emitter so that the marker lines go away. Fundamentals. I think that's a word I was looking for before. Some fundamentals of what we're trying to do here. All right. Well, again, thank y'all for stopping by. I will see you probably next Monday if I don't pop into your streams before then. All right. Good night, everybody. Take care.